Is your name in this book of life? Is your name in
This is the Moment of Naked Truth with Pastor Francis Ekeh, the senior pastor, Bride Assembly Church, Owerri. God bless you.
Is your name in this book of life?
God bless you, your friend and brother Francis Ekeh, the presenter of the Moment of Naked Truth. I'd like to thank you for subscribing and following our messages on this channel. Okay, we've been looking at the danger. We're looking at error and the danger of error. And today we want to move on, still on the issue of denomination or denominationalism. Too many people who see nothing wrong with the denominations. Why you don't see anything wrong with the denomination is because you don't know the gravity of the sin of denominationalism. I told you some time ago that you don't remove any part of the body you remove as deformed that body. Jesus' church is one body, and what makes it one body is his doctrine. A lot of people have said it, and too many people are still saying we are one. We don't need to criticize one another. We should be one and fight together. But the Bible, there's no scripture here that told you that the church has not been infiltrated. The church has not been divided. Though from Genesis, has always been like that. You have Cain and you have Abel. Abel is of God. Cain is of the devil. Cain is of the devil. Abel is of God. So, just like that, you have Esau, you have Jacob, you have who else will I use now? Ishmael, you have Isaac. Isaac is from the free woman, and the woman speaks of the church. Ishmael is of the bond woman. And so that speaks of the fake church, because two women are involved. The bond woman, fake church. The free woman with the legitimate son, Isaac. The true church. So it has been like that since the beginning of the world. Okay, the church of God is not a denomination, but the church is not the denomination or the church. I told you that Satan has one major ministry, the ministry of Satan. Satan is not really going to contest or stop people. Satan don't really stop you from being religious or going to church. Satan will not fight. Satan will not be angry when you go to church. But Satan will only fight and be angry when you are in the truth. If you are going to where there is truth. Because that is where God is. God is in his word. God is not in religion. God is never in religion. God has never been in religion. Okay, as we progress, I will be sharing and preaching from a topic I call the anointed ones at the end. That's a topic like that. Just like I will also soonest, I will be treating on salvation by assumption. Somebody assuming he is saved, but not knowing that he's not saved. We'll get there. Alright. The church of God is not a denomination, but the church. Ephesians 4 verse 4 to 6 has this to say. There is one body, one body and one spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, and one God and Father of all. It will interest you to see Jude. It will interest you to see the book of Jude, verse 3. Jude is one chapter, verse 3. He said, Beloved, when I gave all diligence, that the ministry is a very serious work. I told you that as big and as important as the ministry is, it must not be left in the hand of religious juggernauts. What are they called? Motivational speakers. The motivational speakers are doing their job. It's not totally wrong. I don't want to go into that place now. It's not totally wrong to motivate people, but you just discover that their ministry is to move you, challenge you to be prosperous, to be, fruitful, productive. It's one thing to be fruitful, productive. It's another thing to enter heaven. There is a gospel as a ministry that will prepare the people. That's my emphasis. There's a gospel, there's a ministry there that will prepare the people for home going. Now, if you look at Ephesians, if I'm not mistaken, yes, Ephesians chapter number 4, where verse 11 and 12, where it said he gave some apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, teacher. Now, verse 12 said, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry. So note that the saints are not yet perfected. They will be perfected. And there is a ministry that will perfect them. Catch it. There's a ministry that will perfect the saints. How are the saints going to be perfected? This ministry, which is on ground now, I told you it's not prosperity ministry. The church has prospered. I don't want to start mentioning names of pastors and denominations who are multi-billionaires. But if you are sincere, you will know that the church has actually prospered. We have JUDE, we have hotels, we have everything you can talk about. But then one ministry that is on ground now is a ministry of restoration. Why restoration? Because there's a prophecy in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 3. It says they must be a falling away first before Jesus will come back the second time to take the church. And that falling away prophecy has been fulfilled. The church has deviated. To fall away is to deviate from the apostolic fathers' doctrine and teaching. Thank you. All right. Now, Jude chapter 1 verse 3 has this to say, Beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you that you should earnestly, underline the word earnestly, contend. Another word I would like you to underline is contention, contend. Not just contend, say earnestly contend for the faith. That is the doctrine or teaching which was once delivered unto you. That faith, doctrine or teaching has not but two. God remain God. Now he said, earnestly contend for the faith that was once handed over or delivered unto you in the sense who delivered it, Jesus, through the apostles. That's why in Ephesians chapter 2 verse 20 it says, and we are built upon the foundation of the apostles and the prophet, and Jesus Christ himself is the chief cornerstone. Okay, I'd like to believe that you're following me. Okay, he said contend earnestly for the faith, which is doctrine. The faith here talks about doctrine of Jesus, the teaching of Jesus, which was once delivered unto you, the saints. Now the question is, why should we Why is Jude telling us to contend earnestly? And a lot of people have warned me to stop mentioning them. Even Ebuka, my younger brother, he said he don't like me mentioning them. But Jesus was mentioning them. Even Peter, Jesus mentioned Peter's name. Anytime he does anything wrong, Paul mentioned Peter, that when Peter did something wrong. Jesus mentioned Paul when he did something wrong. It has name. Mention my name. I would like you to mention my name. Then you have asked me to go and search. I will go and do a research. Now, constructive criticism is not wrong. It's not bad. We are all, I have told you that every preacher is a critic. So it is Satan's agenda. This, don't mention them. Just mind what they are praying. Don't mention them. No, the Bible told us to mention them. Let me respect the Buka and maybe the YouTube or whatever, those who are controlling them. Let me just maintain until I have my own TV station. I'm going to mention them one by one. And I know you are totally out of the truth. Because you can only produce destruction with lies and error. Okay. Now the big question is, why is Jude asking us to earnestly fight or contend with the faith, the teaching, the doctrine that was once delivered unto us? Why? Because Jude know if you are in error, you are on your way to hell. Let me share something with you. Why must we contend with the faith, the teaching that was once delivered to us? Because God will know that Satan has one ministry. The ministry of Satan is not to stop you from going to church. Satan said we want you to be a pastor. Satan will want you to be a deacon. Satan will want you to even encourage you to pay tithes, 20% tithe, not even 10%. As long as you remain in error, Satan is okay. As the first church in Genesis, when Satan came to the first church, he asked the first church, did God say, no, it's not really like that, it's not really like that. It doesn't matter, started by Satan in the Garden of Eden. That's what God told. Satan told Eve, the woman, it doesn't matter. That ministry is still on ground, it doesn't matter. That's what we're seeing today, it doesn't matter. Okay, let me rush now because I'm about closing. Why must we contend for the faith? Because Satan is out to pervert the truth. And listen to this. When the truth is perverted, Satan will corrupt it. That's why he said contend. Satan will corrupt the word. Satan will break it down. Satan will divide it. And the moment that is done, the word is corrupted, divided, the word is broken down, it has lost its value. It's no longer the original word. That is my emphasis. And too many ministries, too many pastors, even some sincere ones, too many are in error. Too many are in error. Okay, I'll be stopping here till when we meet next time. We'll continue from where we stop. Where we stop today. That's where we'll continue from here.
Is your name in this book of life?
You just listened to the Moments of Naked Truth with Pastor Francis Ekeh, the